Hey everybody, welcome to another drive-by. Beat you, Henry. Well, before we get into our topic tonight, I'm gonna let Henry, Dwayne do a couple of shout-outs and let some more people get into watch us. You guys have a funny feeling this will be an interesting show tonight.
I can do that. All right. Well, obviously we know Henry's here. Sugar Bear has come by. Christopher Nice, you'll have to let us know how your knee's doing, buddy. Poplar Picker, sorry. And Amelia2325. Joni Kramer stopped in. HB Picker. Thomas Francis just showed up. That's it so far. Oh, there's oh, sorry. We're not supposed to shout out Lonnie. He's keeping a low profile. There's Chad. He stopped in.
And Chris actually told me he wasn't going to be able to catch the show because his meds were kicking in, so he forgot that we started an hour later. So he had starting to fall asleep. So he said he'll catch this later.
Hey, before we get too far into it, Lonnie, we were hoping that you could stop in on this drive-by because it has a particular relevance to something you've done. So if you can, we'll see if we can get you on as a drive-by victim.
And so everybody understands what the idea is as we talked about last week on Saturday, I like poker. Dwayne plays poker on occasion. Lonnie admitted that he's a dealer on his video today. So there's a lot of different areas that poker can relate to reselling, if you really think about it. For example, you got Dwayne, you used to go to the storage auctions.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it if you were sitting at a poker table trying to tell a story of you having the best hand, even though you didn't. It's basically the same thing. You're bidding on an item. You see something in the storage that someone else might not see, so you're bidding on it, and they're wondering, what did he see that I missed? So then depending on how hard you want it, or if you want to drop it on them, so that way you can get them to spend some money so you can get something later for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say, okay, we'll keep going up. Okay, I don't want it anymore. Like they do on the show. Granted, it's not necessarily too real on the show per se, but I mean,
right.
I'm sure you've tried it or had it happen to you when you were starting.
Oh yeah, no, it happens. I mean, you help people spend their money when if it's something you don't necessarily want. It's definitely a strategy to help them spend their money so that they can not spend it on the one you want later. But yeah, no, there's a lot of correlation. I mean, everything we do as a reseller is a gamble. We can't guarantee that anybody's going to buy anything that we buy, right? So just in that way, right there, we hope that we do all the research and have all the time invested to understand what we're getting into, but there's still a bit of a chance to it. Just like in poker, you can study your opponent, but cards are cards. It's how you play them.
Exactly. I can say when you were talking about like aces, somebody has aces, they're gonna bet hard, so that is just a tell for you to know that they're gonna either have a very good hand. So you might bet, raise your price high enough where you know in your knowledge, saying, okay, this is what it's going for. I know I can get this, but you're also taking a risk if you're waiting for too long, where the first offer that comes along that you're like, okay, I just want it to move. Oh, I lost money. So you're chasing that bet where somebody else might be tricking you when they flop trips. So you're still thinking aces are the best hand on the flop. The other may have trips, and you're sitting there dumbfounded. Okay, I'm calling 10,000. I had that happen to me 2 weeks ago. I had back-to-back pocket aces. First one I didn't raise. The first one I didn't raise pre-flop. The guy before me bet 500, so I recalled. And I figured I'm just gonna swap quick. There was one person I thought would bet high, I was going to trap her. I said, so I just called, and then all of a sudden, Jack comes off, check, always match me, and I was on the dealer button. I'm like, 1,200 or whatever. I forget what I was. The guy that did the original bet, it's like, hit your jacks, huh? I didn't say a word. He folded. The next guy called. The girl I wanted folded. And then come down to the river. He only had a pair of aces, a pair of jacks. So I ended up beating him. But the very next hand, I got pocket aces again. And this time I bet higher to the point where people would know that what I had. The one I was trying to trap last time called me with pocket sixes and hit a 6 on the flop. So I lost about $30,000 and $30,000 in chips to her that hand. So,
and you know, just knowing the person you're playing and knowing your own market in eBay. I mean, they're definitely, you know, they can be the same.
Lonnie just said, slow playing aces pre-flop usually followed by a bad beat story.
You know what, Lonnie? I'll tell you right now, I absolutely hate pre-flop aces. I seriously have only won once. Whether I go all in or I slow play him or I try and trap, it doesn't seem to matter. I get beat every time with pocket aces.
So
every damn time.
And I want to relate that to the business, because when you have something like you think you're going to make enough money off of, you might be holding on for too long. It basically down to the quick flip versus the long tail. Are you going to want to wait? And then the one time you get the view, you're like, okay, I'm finally going to accept. Oh, I lost money, or I didn't wait long enough.
Yeah, you wait too long, and then the other guy hits his hand because you waited too long.
Yeah.
You had the best hand for three.
Wait too long, and the flop wins out because you got antsy.
Exactly.
You needed to make money. You wanted to go out and buy more stuff. So
no, and like I said, there's a lot of correlation because of just how the business works, and you know, like I said, doing your research on whether it's playing poker, just doing it, or you know, studying the people that play it, or studying the different hands and the percentages. It depends on, you know, however you want to do it, but there's always stuff to be learned in both poker and reselling.
So, Lonnie, if you're on your actual computer and you can pop in, I'd love to get your perspective on this because of being an actual poker dealer. Can you see the correlations that we're talking about, or do you see other ones that we haven't brought up yet?
Well, and we also wanted to ask the viewers how many play poker. You know, whether it's, you know, amateur or for fun or online or in tournaments.
Yeah, I was trying to get
Mr. Sadie.
He said he loves poker. Me and him said I tried getting him to play on certain lines that I got him to play with. Try getting on one of the sites that you played on, but we couldn't get to the same table. It's like we were trying to figure out a way of getting onto the same table, and it wouldn't let us get there.
Yeah, there he is. There's the man, the myth, the legend.
Hey,
I'm the only one with hair. What the heck?
So,
how you doing, Lonnie?
Your, take on
Wait, hang on. I've got the video going at the same time. I had to mute it out. How y'all doing, guys?
Good. So, why don't you give me your opinion as a dealer? If you can see the correlations that we're talking about with the betting and at least in the auction sections, trying to outmaneuver somebody else.
Well, I don't do the auctions a lot. I used to go to auctions more, but I was in the poker industry for I think I started in like 2004, something like that, and then I was in it for like probably 8 years as either a poker dealer or a floor manager. You know, different jobs there. It was right after the Chris Moneymaker poker boom, you know. So
yeah,
and I played quite a bit too. And I kind of thought about the correlations whenever I saw the show topic. I actually jotted a few down on my phone. So,
Oh, good. Well, let us hear them.
because I wanted to prepare for you guys tonight. So I think the number one correlation is that just like poker, poker and reselling are both almost always games of incomplete information. There's usually a missing piece of information there that you have to kind of either use your intuition or your knowledge or experience to take a chance. There's always an element of risk there. It's not like a game of chess. If I played the best chess player in the world 1,000 times, I would get beat exactly 1,000 times. If I played the best poker player in the world 1,000 times, I might beat him 100. Because of that element of chance there. There's always incomplete information though, right? Like how many times have you guys bought stuff where you didn't know exactly what it was worth, or you didn't know there was a market for it or not? You just you took a chance. How many times does that happen?
Many.
Right? I mean, you make an educated guess, but
Sure.
you don't know. You don't know for sure. Or another piece of incomplete information would be you don't know, like if you're entering a negotiation to source something, you have to try and suss out the person you're buying the item from. Okay, now you have to know, like, what do you think the item's worth? And then you have to take it another level up, second level thinking. Okay, what does he or she, what do they think it's worth? Because that's what really matters. It's not the actual intrinsic value of the item. It's what the person thinks the value is that you're trying to get it from, right? I mean, because
Absolutely.
their perception is your reality, right?
Yeah, like I can say, if you look at all the people that complain about the eBay sold listings or eBay listings at garage sales, all they're doing is basing it on information that they're getting. They're not getting all the information unless they use the actual sold listings to show what it's sold for.
Right. And other information that may not be complete might be condition. Like maybe you aren't able to fully check out an item before you get it. So you're taking a gamble there. You get it home, you plug it in, you check it, or maybe you look at the battery compartment later, you got corrosion. Maybe the clothes have holes in them that you weren't able to check out because you didn't have time to do a complete preview before your auction or wherever you source it from. So I think the incomplete information factor is the biggest correlation.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think what you said really rings true.
Sure. Let's see. I had another one. Oh, the biggest one. The biggest way that if any of you guys have ever played poker in a casino or online, even like for real money, how does the house make their money?
Rake.
The rake. There you go. And we experience all kind of rake in the reseller world, right? eBay rakes us. PayPal, we got rake there. If you source at auctions, you'll have a buyer's premium a lot of times, 10, 15%, whatever it is. You have taxes, you got all kind of, so I mean, there's a direct correlation there, rake and, all those fees and whatnot that we pay. And then the third thing that I kind of came up with was bluffing in poker and negotiating, right, on either the source or sell side. You have to, I mean, there's a lot of bluffing involved, like if you don't take my price, I'm going to walk, right? That's what you want to always think,
How many times we heard Chad say, he said, I'm going to walk away from this deal. And then all of a sudden he said, I got this because I started walking away.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear that a lot, actually. You got to call their bluff because, in certain situations like that.
How many times have you guys pulled a bluff like that? And this is one of the things that hurts my pride, man. Like I negotiate, and then finally I say, okay, look, $25, that's the most I'll pay. And they're stuck on, say, 30. Okay. So then I do the walk, right? Start walking towards the car. I get halfway there and I'm like, I suck it up swallow my pride, turn around, walk back, and give them the damn $30. I hate that, man. I hate it.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is when you give an ultimatum like that, you have to be able to walk the walk. I mean, if you say, this is it, that should be it. And then you can actually walk and be grateful either way.
Yeah, but if the 30 is like really still a smart business decision, and this isn't a situation where it's going to affect future dealings. Like if I'm buying at a garage sale, I probably won't see the person again, right? It's a one-time shot. So if the smart business decision is to go ahead and turn around and swallow your pride and go back and buy the thing, then you should do that. I'm not always able to do
I guess that's true.
But that's all I got, guys.
Well, thanks for popping in.
All those are great.
Your post on the first comment saying, who came up with this idea for a show? I'm like, I knew somebody was thinking.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Right.
There's so many correlations, actually, you can make correlations between games like poker and chess and, other games between those things and just about any endeavor in life, really. I mean, a lot of them mirror life. So, but I'm going to hop off, guys. Let somebody else get on. So,
all right. Hey, thanks again, Lonnie. That was
what was that doing?
Oh, I was just saying, thanks, Lonnie. That was great insight.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks. And I know Henry wants to come in. So, Henry.
And Yvonne is in the chat, so maybe we can get her to come in too.
Yep, we're talking over each other again here.
I know, I keep doing it. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's not always your fault. Sometimes it's my internet. Remember that. But Henry wants to pop in, and Vaughn, if you want to come out and talk about this, another good perspective we'd love to have.
Absolutely. Mr. Sadie says sometimes you just pay to see the hand. And that's true. I mean, same thing in in reselling. Sometimes you just go all in and just say it as it is.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Mr. Oil.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people comment about your Mr. Body Oil, and it kind of makes them feel. I think Lonnie said it makes him feel kind of funny.
Actually,
calling you that.
Well, that's my business name. Actually, what I was going to say is sometimes it actually helps to buy in bulk. I've done 2 runs of postcards. The last time I got 5 cents a piece for 86 of them a piece.
Very good. So what do you think about our topic?
I would say it's cool, but I would say it's very good. But yeah, sometimes it helps to buy in bulk if you can. I mean, if it's nice and cheap.
Uh-huh.
Well, that could be if you try pushing all it, like what Dwayne was saying. If you try buying going all in with pocket aces or kings and hope nobody calls you just to get the blinds.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And sometimes you think, hey, am I going to go all in just to pull the blinds? I mean, really? Am I willing to risk everything I have for just the blinds? It makes you think, well, maybe I should wait and wait for a little bit better money before I, risk it.
Is it earthquaking in Utah? Because Dwayne's thing is jumping.
I think it's because I keep leaning on my desk and my camera's not mounted very well.
So, and if there's an overtime show, I'll talk to you about the thing you were talking to me about earlier today.
Okay. Yeah, later.
I'm going to jump off and go back to the show.
Okay. Thanks, Henry.
Thanks a lot, man. Danny Suadana, we're not doing that type of stuff here, so can one of my admins or moderators take care of that and kind of.
Who is it?
There's a Danny Suadana. Asking everybody to check out his channel for animation. And I've been trying to do it, but I want to keep the show going too.
Right.
The link is down in the description if you want to pop in and talk about this topic, because I want to get your perspective. Since now you're slowly getting into you're not getting slowly into it now, but you're more into reselling than you used to be. And you just said that the poker is your other side hustle.
Me?
No, I was talking about Yvonne. I was trying to get her to.
Oh, Yvonne. Okay, that's what I thought you said, but then I thought, uh-oh. Is Yvonne going to be able? Yvonne, are you going to be able to make it on here?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking her.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were. But
let's see. Mercedes says bad poker, play a little bit 10 to win 5. It's bad poker in a cash game, but when you're at a free bar game, it's not so bad because they're gonna most of the time people will call you anyway and they'll get those either they'll suck out on you or you'll get double through them. I've done it before, like I said about the woman that I was trying to trap with my aces before. With anything with a high ace or two face cards, show automatically with the blinds are 1 in 200 will bet 1,800 or 1,700. There was times I was low on chips, or not even low on chips. I just was like, I had pocket tens one time. The one time I got lucky against her, I said all in. She called me with ace king, or no, or she did have aces that time, and I turned the third 10. But that night, 2 other hands previous, I doubled up to her with ace queen and pocket aces against her, or something. I literally caught her. Every time we play, or a hand comes up where it's between me and her, she'll sit there and say, I beat her more often than not. So.
Chicago Crown Hustler Kurt said, I just avoid poker altogether. I get wrapped up into things. And everybody behind him is saying, good, good thinking, or right on, good call. So, yeah, that's true. It's
so wait, Yvonne said she's gonna come on or what? I hear commenting saying AK rarely wins.
Yeah. So yeah,
anybody else want to come in and talk about this topic?
Yeah, somebody come in.
Because I know it's a little strange to hear poker and reselling. I mean, Lonnie brought up the Chris Moneymaker. He spent $40 to win all that money. So you're taking chances when you do hit a home run. If you want to bet $20 or whatever on something, you're like, I'm gonna take a flyer on this, and maybe you'll get lucky and find a $32,000 record. Maybe you'll find depending on what you know.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Let's see.
Yeah, poker, Krillin.
She's giving you a hard time. Like Yvonne says, giving you a heads up.
No, this is the call to drive by. If anything, Henry, how many times does Henry give us a heads up when he's going to come in the second time? He just pops it.
Right. Exactly. So do you consider your odds when you're playing poker? Do you figure percentages, and how does that correlate with the way you resell?
More or less my percentages I do depending on who I'm playing against in each hand, because there are certain players that like to pull off and whatnot. So of course my percentages are going to be higher against them if I have the better hand, or I can pull off them. In reselling, you have to worry about. There's more to worry about instead of trying to bluff somebody. You're going to be like, okay, I can spend $5 to get 25. Like we did when you were here, I bought those 2 Tony Robbins CD things.
Right.
They were $5 each. Couldn't find out one of them was missing the disc inside the case for the set. So I have an incomplete second set. But I sold the first set for 32 and change, kind of shipping, I believe. 40 something dollars or whatever it was. It was like 27 the actual item was 27. So right there, I doubled my money, 5 times my money without the fees and all that. I'm not counting all that yet. I'm just talking
Sure.
about in general. 5 times my money at $25. So I paid for the one that I don't have incomplete. That I have incomplete. So whatever I get extra out of that, it's going to be added on. It's just going to be gravy. That's why like when everybody talks about patterns. Why do you want to buy patterns in bulk? Because if you spend $6 for 100 of them, and you get $15 or $6 back on one of them, anything else is extra.
Right. Let's see. Krillin says poker is gambling and reselling is work. I don't think so, man. I mean, it can be both ways. Poker can be a job if you're good enough, just like reselling can be a hobby, or you're still playing odds. I mean, you're still putting forth money and risking at that little bit of money that it's going to sell for a higher money. Knowing, doing your research, whether you know that this thing is going to make 5 times your money or 2 times your money. It's like having, a 5 and a 6 in the hole and hoping that that's going to turn into a straight, or knowing it's going to turn into a straight because, after the 3 cards have been rolled. So, I mean, I think they're both the same. It depends on how deep into it you get. Like Mr. Sadie says, poker is not gambling to me, my friend. That's what he said. So,
okay. And now Krillin just says, poker is not a job, it is gambling. If that's the case, go stand up next to Bill Hellmuth, Daniel DeGranu, anybody that is a professional poker player, and tell them it's not work. Sitting on it for 8 to 9 hours a day to make money. That is work.
Yeah, I'd say I've actually thought about playing in tournaments, but then I thought, I just don't want to stay up, all night sitting at tables and moving to the next table and sitting at, because some of those run 24 hours. They don't take breaks. So
yeah, we got the one when I go to the free one, they're done within 3 to 5 hours, depending on how many players they get.
Right.
Sometimes they have full tables, but then someone else comes in before an hour's up, and they're like, okay, you get in, but you get less chips because you came in late. You didn't start on time.
Sure. Yeah, Yvonne said Doyle Brunson for sure. He's one of the old crew.
Exactly. There's a lot of pros that are out there. I've talked to Chris Moneymaker on PokerStars. I've talked to Daniel Negrini on PokerStars. I've talked to Scotty Wynn on Twitter. I almost got him to come to my town to play in a free game. I was very close to doing it. And my friends didn't believe me until I showed them the Twitter feed, and they're like, I guess you weren't kidding. So.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie says if it was gambling, you would not see the same faces at the final table every time. That's for sure. I mean, it's an art form. I mean, it's another game that if you learn, you engross yourself into it and do all your research and learn, learn how to read people, learn how to understand the cards, know how it's going to work. I mean, you're significantly changing the odds.
Exactly. Krillin, you're not gambling every time you go to a store, because if you don't know an item, you're buying it. That's gambling too. You're putting money into the. Oh, we got someone here that decided to come in here, but you're risking money either way if you play for money. Like I said, the game I go to is a free game. Just because I've gone to a casino and played once, and I have a feeling I could hang with some certain players. Because of the way I handle it, and out of 30 players, I'm usually, unless I really want to leave early, I'm in the top 10, and the top 3 get paid.
Right.
All right. So we're here. I see you're here, but your camera's not on. So can you still talk? Is your mic working?
Can I talk?
Sure,
yeah,
you can.
Sounds like you can.
Yeah. Poker and me are 2 different things, sort of. It's like I play poker for fun with almost, disposable income, shall we say. And eBay, it's about the money, you know. I'm not going to lose there.
Well, you
It's kind of
might.
like well,
You won't lose now because you know how to play the
no,
eBay game.
it's like the odds are way stacked in your favor when you're doing the eBay thing. I mean, you buy low, you sell high. That doesn't happen at the poker table. Come on.
Yeah, I'd say
It's
you're probably right. The odds are obviously in your favor at reselling, but it's still gambling. It's just gambling with the odds more your favor than on the tables.
Yeah, but I mean, if you sit down at a table with 9 other players or 8 other players, what are your odds are on winning each hand?
I don't know.
Well, it'd be 1 out of 8, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, each hand, sure.
Well, don't you feel like you get better odds playing on the eBay game than 1 out of 8 chance of making some money on whatever you bought?
And that's what I'm saying. But you're still risking. I'm just saying that you're right. The odds are definitely better reselling than playing at poker. But there is still risk there. Maybe not as much, obviously, depending on how you play and what you know. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I guess, but I mean, like, if I can go to a rummage sale and buy something I know a lot about, like I used to be a band director and I bought a clarinet at a rummage sale about a month ago for $2.50, and I sold it on eBay for like 300 something. What?
Mm-hmm.
There was no risk per se. That's a sure bet. It's I don't see how I lose on that.
But if I did the same thing, not knowing a single thing about a clarinet, I would be risking that $2.50 because I don't know. I know nothing about clarinets. I wouldn't know if the case was worth $2.50. I mean, granted that at $2.50, it's very low, but because of your knowledge, you're changing the odds in your favor. Just like in poker, the more you play, the better odds you get because you understand how to play the odds of the table.
Yeah, but in poker, you're not playing the odds as much as you are playing the other players.
Well, it depends if you're playing it with a house or with players. But yeah, you're right. Whether you research the players or research the house or research the percentages of cards and how each set of cards.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, if you're playing blackjack, absolutely, you're playing the odds against the house, which you're going to lose in the long run. But,
and like Lonnie says, we're not saying there's 100% correlation. We're just kind of playing the odds, talking about poker and reselling and how they can be correlated in different ways. And how I'm not saying that everybody should go play poker because it's as easy as reselling. Definitely not saying that. I'm just saying there are things about poker that are very similar to the things in reselling, but like I said, the odds are obviously much better for you as a reseller.
Right,
Chris?
Yeah, I was sitting in some of the comments, and Ron made a comment. Parallels, reading the texture of the board, meaning the flop and the cards on the board, is like checking active and sold comps on an item.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Sure. I mean, it's always.
And gambling is not illegal. If it was, no Vegas, no Atlantic City, no.
Yeah, it's Krillin. Gambling is not illegal in a lot of places. Oh, I was reading.
Yeah, Wicked. You gotta know what you're dealing with coins, just like clarinets and everything else. Sorry, sure. I was reading in chat.
No, you're fine. That's okay.
But yeah, I mean,
and sorry to cut you off again, Sim here. Krillin, no, it's not a non-productive thing. Drive-by is about different things. I'm trying to bridge some gaps because there are a lot of people that like different things like poker. I want to bring those type of people into this fold. As Christine, I can't remember her last name, said the title itself drew her into the show. So
Yeah.
there's got to be something. Some people that like poker, and once they see that it could be a relations not 100% to each one, they might say, okay, well, I want to give reselling a try. Now I'm going to watch this guy learn more, or I'm going to learn whoever one of the guests are to speak and see if they have to learn more. So,
Yeah, again, we're not saying it's 100% correlation. There, of course, it's not. We're just
no.
saying there's a lot of things that are kind of similar.
And Krillin is stuck on his head saying it's
illegal. Go try and open a casino.
if I had millions
You
of
know,
dollars,
if I could walk down to Vegas and I could open a casino if I had the money.
Yep.
See, Prof said he used to play for a living. Hey, Jason, use the link down below here, if you don't mind.
Yep.
I appreciate you coming on. I want to see if Jason will come on. Give us another player's point of view. We had Lonnie on as a dealer's guest, so or
Sure,
even Mike can come on.
I'll
Or
buy
both.
it out. I wanted to say one more thing. When I go to the casino, I lose less money playing poker than I do when I play slots or blackjack or anything else.
That's because you know a little bit more, right? Well, maybe not blackjack. I'm just saying slots is a game of chance. I mean, there's no...
that, and you actually are playing against other players instead of the house.
True.
Except for the rake. Okay.
Right.
That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Very good. Thanks.
Okay.
Let's see what we got.
Jason says give him a moment. So, Mike, while Jason's getting set up, you want to pop in? I know you said you had something to say.
I'm just reading. Sorry.
Well, Krillin's still going on, but it isn't a business model buying merchandise. You're still risking. If you're saying gambling, that poker is gambling, so is buying something. You're using your knowledge to buy it. You're still taking the risk that it will still sell. Look how many times people complain about an area of high-end selling stuff all of a sudden tank because too many people are buying selling it. There's your risk.
Wow, I didn't realize we're going to get in a fist fight over this, right? Jeez.
I told you it was going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Yep, it's definitely true. So I guess it's just we were just thinking of a way to, correlate something that we both enjoy doing with something else that we both enjoy doing, and how there's definitely some things that knowing and doing research can help you out in both.
Jason, the link is down in the description. Mike, the link is down in the description. She both said 1 second, so I'll take you both at the same time. Yvonne, you're still invited. I'm waiting.
Yeah. So Alana said newbie resellers have more risk. I don't know if they have more risk. They just don't know how to maximize or minimize their risk, because we all have the same amount of risk. It's just whether or not they know how to minimize, making mistakes.
That's why when most people in the group ask, well, I'm just starting out, where should I start? I say start with things that you know, that you've already collected yourself, or you're from your house. That way you learn all the steps that you can with the items that you have.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yvonne said, in reselling, we also ride the variance and have to watch our bankroll. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's the same thing you do in poker. You have to worry about, you came in and out, so I think Mike's having issues.
Yeah, no, she was, and she put them in quotes saying that they were, very similar to, poker terms. Mike says, I suck at this. What? All you gotta do is press the thing and say, yes, I agree. Yep, not so perfectly me. I spent hours in research before I started eBay, minimizing my risk that way. Exactly. And that's kind of what we're saying, is that there's a way to minimize your risk.
Books, and in poker, they have books out. You can watch videos on, or you watch TV shows, and you learn where they're make players on TV make mistakes. So when you go down the table, okay, I'm not going to do this. Even if you get bluffed, you're saying, I'm not going to fall for that trip or whatever. So everything, okay, I'm going to leave it there.
Oh, yep.
And I don't know if Jason's still trying to get on. Chick Picker says, great subject, guys. And everybody wants to hear Mike's story. So, Mike, you got to get in here.
Yep, I would agree with you, Silver Hair Stacker. He says, I still contend that there is a 99% success rate on eBay compared to the casino. I don't know if 99%, but I agree with you. I mean, there's a lot, the odds are much better, for sure. Jason can't get in.
Can you hold up while I'm going to try sending Jason through Facebook the link, because he says he can't get in through, I don't know if he can get through that, through the one that's down below or not. So,
yeah, he says, send me a link over Messenger, Chris. So, let's see. Elena R. Since funds are low, start selling what you have, don't need. Use those profits to start a snowball. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. That's always the best way to not the best way. I'd say it's a good way to start, for sure. Because then you're basically banking on things that you don't need anyway, and then rolling it into more money. Let's see. The Rush County Picker says, when I gamble, I'm prepared to lose. When I buy an item to sell, losing money never crosses my mind. That's good. Yeah. And again, that's the odds. But let's say it was something expensive. If it was a car, spending $1,000 on a car, and you knew nothing about cars, would you? Obviously, that's a stretched out hypothetical situation, but there's still that risk. I understand that we as resellers, we've minimized that risk to where we can go pick up just about anything we can think of, and make money on, within reason, of course. But that's because we've learned. That's because we're not brand new. People that are just brand new that say, hey, what's this eBay thing? They have to put their time in. Just like a person starting out playing poker. If you don't know anything about poker, you probably ought to research, what the hands do what, and understand the game.
okay, Jason, I sent you the link through Facebook, so.
Cool.
Krillin, you're not getting the point. It's not about gambling. It's about using the knowledge that you have to either make money, because there are players that make money, or there are people that will throw away money because they're not knowing what they're doing. So it happens both ways. When you look at all the people that say, I did bad buy until they learn what's wrong. If they're gonna keep throwing money in the kitty in the poker game and keep getting beat, they're gonna finally learn I can't play King Deuce until whenever.
Right. Oh man, the Rush County Picker. See, here I go and use a car hypothetical, and he used to be a car salesman. Murphy's Law. Oh, Ike.
Yeah. Oh, you're blocked.
You're muted.
You gotta unmute yourself. Okay, Alana, here you go. For people that say it's not a game, Alana says, my sister did eBay when there was no smartphones to look up anything. Now that was a gamble.
For sure. Yeah. That's just that one where you would just take all your knowledge of how many times you fell on your face and what, you'd have to do your knowledge that way for sure. Okay, Mike, all we got to do is get your mic working, and that's good enough. Oh, there's Jason. Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Hi, guys.
Yes,
How are
we're
you?
in bed, so whatever.
Oh, hey now. We don't need to know that.
Hold it up and then.
Sorry that took such a long time to get in. I don't know what the problem was.
I fixed it.
We have problems too, so.
So interesting topic tonight, right up my alley.
Yeah, well, let's hear what you got to say.
Especially since you used to play for a living, and I want to read Krillin's latest comment before you respond, just in case. He made a comment. Here's his issue with what we're doing. He says we are saying that if you practice at poker, that you can somehow get better. You can. It's just like at reselling. You're gonna get better the more you do it.
Sure.
You can learn eventually from making your mistakes.
Yeah, no, and that's absolutely right. I understand the argument that poker has a degree of what people call luck, which is just, you can't control what cards come out. That's true. But when you apply yourself and you understand the percentages of hands, you understand how other people play, you know how to manipulate pots with the size of your bets and so on, you can absolutely increase your chances of being success. And the reason we know this is because there are people who make a living playing professionally. They're not any luckier than you or me. They've actually
Same cards.
out. Right, because they get the same amount of cards, good cards, bad cards, whatever you want to call in the long run as we do, but they figured out how to apply their skill. And there's a lot of math in the game, and the math, there's a mathematical expectation for every possible move you make in the game. And the better you get at knowing that math, whether intrinsically or just even working it out on paper, which you can do, the better your results will be, not in any one hand, but over time. It's kind of like on eBay or Amazon. The better you get at knowing what to source and for what price and how to list it and how to photo it and when to put it up, the better results you will get. Someone was right saying, yeah, you're going to get, of course, you're going to have great results on eBay selling things, but you can also have crappy results. Let's be clear. You can buy something for $10 and it sells for $8. I would consider that a loss. So it's not like just because you put something on eBay, you're going to start printing money out of a printing press in your basement. It's not the same. So there's a degree of skill to poker, just like there's a degree of skill to reselling.
Well said. That's what we were trying to say. It just took you to say it.
No, you guys have a great topic, but the mindset is what's important, guys. Like when you apply yourself to a game like poker, you can become better at it. When you apply yourself to reselling, you're going to become better at it as long as you're continually learning and adapting and evolving to how the game is changing. And and I agree with what, I don't know if it was you, Joanne, who said earlier, everything is somewhat of a gamble. You can see that there's 100 sold listings of item X, and you buy item X at a great price and put it up and it doesn't sell or it doesn't sell for a year. Or however long it is, and you're like, why did that happen? Because there are some things, there's a lot of things that just aren't in your control. So you try to increase your odds of being successful, but that's all you can ever really do with reselling or poker.
Absolutely. Well, and one of the things that I've learned is the more times that you put yourself out there, the luckier you get. Right. Luck isn't really just a one-time thing. If you're prepared for it, it comes a lot more often.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. No argument.
Okay.
You guys are starting.
I was just reading. Sorry.
You guys should make poker videos.
Oh, geez, no. No. Poker is for fun. I make a little money once in a while, but not much.
Yeah.
Make more money reselling for sure.
Oh, and I do too. And I would say that if you gave me the choice on what to do, I much prefer reselling, for lots of reasons. But that being said, if you absolutely can make money playing poker in the long run, but you have to remember the long run in poker is really long. It's not like, I won 10 hands in a row, or tonight my pocket aces got cracked twice. That happens, and it's perfectly normal.
Right.
So you have to remember that and not get so caught up in any one hand or any one night.
That's what I was explaining, was when I did those the back-to-back aces, I played them differently. When I played them, slow played them, I won the hand. I tried betting hard, like everybody says you should do.
Mm-hmm.
I get cracked. But I still ended up lasting until, and I lost, like I said, about 30 to 40,000 in chips. But yeah, I turned around and I still ended up in 5th place that night.
Yeah, of course. And I think someone would say, I was making comparison between gambling and eBay. I'm not making comparison in the sense that they're exactly the same, because they're not the same.
Not even.
But there are some similarities to putting your money out there with an expectation of getting more back given certain criteria. That concept is the same. Hey, guess what else is gambling, guys? Here's a news flash. You think investing in the stock market, just because you can go read technical advice in a manual or a magazine or on a website or blog, you think that's not gambling? Of course it's gambling to an extent. You don't know that you're going to pull more money back out of it than you put in. No one knows that. And lots of smart people every year are successful at it, and the next year they're not so successful at it. So a lot of life is quote unquote a gamble to some degree. But the point is, if you educate yourself and you take responsible risk, and you can mitigate, your losses and maximize your chance to be successful. And that's all you can ever do in anything, in my opinion.
Yeah. Learn the game.
About the poker being illegal. If it was illegal, there would not be casinos anywhere. Don't tell me to go build a casino. I ain't worried about that.
Yeah.
If it was illegal, there wouldn't be casinos in Colorado, Las Vegas, New York, anywhere.
Well, you're right, Chris. And what's so interesting about the state of gambling or poker or lots of things is, it's illegal except for the state, who is very determined to get your hard-earned gambling dollars into their coffers, all in the name of education or roads or some other nonsense, which usually turns out to be nowhere near what they thought it was going to be or going to the causes you thought it was going to. So, no, gambling in this country is by no means illegal, and neither is poker. And honestly, even in a lot of states, you're allowed to play even home games and so on. Not in all states. Like in my state, we're not, which pushes the games underground, unfortunately. But in casinos, absolutely, it's legal. There's card rooms in California which don't really have other table games, so to speak. There's, it's gambling is a part of our society, whether you like it or not. You certainly don't have to participate in it. And I wouldn't recommend that you attempt to make a career out of gambling, because it's very, very difficult to do it in poker, and the other games you can't beat at all in the long run. So despite someone's system, but it's not illegal in a large swath of the country. And the reality is that, if consenting adults want to put their money into a game, with the risk of, losing it or getting money back, they should be able to. That's my take on it.
I agree with you. It's my money. I earned it, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if she's still around, but not so wanted to come in on her iPad if she can get in.
Oh, cool. Well, have her come on in.
Well, listen, guys, I'm gonna sign out, but I'll keep watching. So great topic tonight.
Good night.
Thanks for entertaining.
You guys are just a bunch of troublemakers tonight.
I know it, right? God, what did we think going on like this?
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks, Jason.
All right.
Bye, Karen.
Bye.
And Angie's going, good night, Angie.
Oh, good night, Ange. Let's see. Oh my goodness. See, and actually I like what Lonnie said up here. He said the question isn't, is poker good or bad? That's not the topic. Exactly. We're not, poker can ruin lives just like anything else can. Alcohol can ruin lives. There's a lot of things. We're not pulling judgment on that at all. All we're saying is there's a lot of similarities. Mike.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can.
Bonnie said.
There you go.
The question isn't, is poker good or bad? That's not the topic. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not,
Nobody talked about the tells,
poker can
man.
ruin lives just like anything else can.
Oh, you got to mute your YouTube.
We're not pulling judgment on that at all. All we're saying is there's a lot of similarities. Mike.
Yes.
Hey, can you hear me? We can.
All right,
Hey,
very
Mike.
good.
There you go.
Mike.
I'm lagging bad.
Yeah. Mute your YouTube so that we don't hear what we already said. And then we'll just hear you.
And while Mike's trying to fix that, Chick Picker said, I use my poker skills in my reselling game all the time.
Of course.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear if you can hear me or not now.
We can hear you fine.
Well, we can hear you.
Anyways, here's my little story. All right, I can't hear you guys, so. But anyways, here's my little story. It's about the tells. You got people that want to bluff you, and you want to bluff them. I've done local reselling a lot longer than I've done selling on eBay. The local hustle is you're trying to settle. You're trying to sell your goods for as much as you can locally, and I had acquired a bunch of stuff, fishing rod, and it was a good one. It was like $100 rod or so. Actually it was like $200 new, but people were trying to sell them for like $90 used. And I started out in the middle in the morning at about $75, and I had a couple people look at it, and they seemed interested, but they put it back down for $75. And then this guy came along, and he picked it up, and he's looking at it hard, and he's looking at all the eyelets. He's looking to see if it's straight, if it's right, if everything's good. And he kind of just like flippantly just kind of set it off. He was feeling me out just as much as I was feeling, as I was sizing him up, just like you would in a poker game. And he went and kind of fiddled around in a bunch of boxes and got a couple, $1 items, kind of break the ice. And he came to me, and I was like, that's $1, that's $2, whatever. And picks the rod back up, and he's looking at it. And I'd been sizing him up because I knew what he was doing. I knew he was really interested in that rod. It was AFICO or something. It had like a symbol on it, like the fish, like the Jesus. It was aluminum rod. And I told him, I said, I had a number of people looking at it for $75, and they were thinking about it hard, and they set it back down. Now, give me $50. And he was thinking about it, looking at it, and he was like, will you take 40? And I was like, no, I'm not taking 40. If I can't get 50 for it, I'm gonna just take it home. And he looked at it a little bit more, and he's like, well, how about 45? And then, because I'd been sizing him up, I looked at him, and I was like, I looked him straight in the face, and I'm like, you're wearing Sperry shoes. You got Tommy Bahama shorts on. You got a Columbia titanium shirt, Mar sunglasses, and you're trying to beat me up for $5. If you want the rod, it's $50, man. And he just looked at me with this blank stare for a second, and then he kind of reached in his pocket slowly and grabbed out this great big wad of money, and he peeled off $50 and gave it to me. And because of what he was wearing, he all his tells were there. He had the money. He liked the rod. He was trying to play me. And I think that's a little bit of a lesson to learn. versus on poker. Go out thrifting, you know, it's not so much at the Goodwill, because that's like a retail place. It's everything's written down, you know. You can't you can't negotiate the price unless you're coming in there and you're buying a whole bunch of stuff. But at yard sales and swap shops and flea markets like that, you know, dress down, wear a t-shirt, look like you're going out to go do yard work, you know, dress down. Else. So, you know, put on a pair of stinky ass tennis shoes and split your pockets. Put all your hundreds in one side just in case you find a home run and you got to dig deep in your left pocket. Put all your small bills in your left pocket in case you're trying to chip somebody down. And that's my little story. That's my little 2 cents on the subject. I can't hear anything you guys are saying, but I hope you guys can hear me.
We heard you fine, so thanks for popping in. I know you can't hear us.
But in the chat, I've been talking. So yeah, that's a great story, and it really is sizing up your competition. I mean, that says a lot. You know, if somebody plays poker very loosely and just throwing money about, you know, doesn't care whether they win or lose. You know, those can be those can be whales sometimes that can spend lots of money. So, but yeah, knowing your opponents. Go ahead, Chris.
I know we're past the hour. I'm willing to keep going as long as everybody's interested.
Yeah, you know, if people want to stick around, I'm okay. Henry wants to know what's the most that you lost at a poker table.
The one time I played in the tournament, I was only a $20 buy-in, or no, $40 buy-in. That was the one casino game I went to. Otherwise, I go to a free game. And the only time it cost me money is if I want to buy a beer or something. Yes, they give us tips for it, but I don't. So at least I spent it was $4, and I still won that night. And everybody else is sitting there throwing $10, $20, $30, $50 for drinks or buying cards to get extra chips or whatever for the 50-50 type of thing. So it don't matter the amount of money they spent. I played my game against the players. I didn't worry about what the chip stacks were unless I was well against them. Then I pushed all in. I made them make the decision if they were going to play with me, knowing how I play.
Sure. Well, and that's another kind of a not so obvious correlation is that everybody plays differently. You know, the way you play a pocket pair of aces may be different than the way I do. And that's very similar in the reseller system is I do things a lot different than you do. I may, run prices high and run sales, or, quick flip, or, I mean, there's all kinds of ways that, to run your business, just like there's many ways to, play a specific hand in poker.
Okay, just like in reselling communities in the groups, or if you know somebody can say, well, you did this wrong. Just like on the poker table, the guy to my left, the first time I played the aces, said, I hate when people play aces like that. You should have bet hard. The next hand, I bet hard like he said I should, and I still got beaten. And he looks at me, and I'm like, what? I did what you said I should.
Right.
And he left me alone for the rest of the night because he knows I could play anyway.
Right.
I was trying to make a point to him.
Well, and I watched some online poker on the TV poker tournaments where a professional poker player will get completely upset because somebody played an 8-2 offsuit and won. Nobody plays that, and you shouldn't. If to be a good poker, you can't play that. Well, who's raking the chips? It's kind of strange, but odds say that an 8-deuce is never going to win, or very, very rarely. But sometimes the cards fall. So
not so it's working. I said she had to download the app, so I don't know if she can still get in or not using the link.
Who is that?
Anyway, I just want to pop back in because I notice we're losing viewers right now.
Oh, we're losing them?
Well, we were at 40 something at the highest point when we were going back.
Oh, wow. Well, very good.
So if anybody else wants to come in, let us know. So
yeah, so I mean, again, basically all we're saying is there's a lot of similarities between poker and reselling and things like that. We're not judging good, bad, or indifferent. Just that a lot of the same things that you do to make yourself a better poker player, you do to make yourself a better reseller.
and so the people that say, well, the players that don't learn, well, there's a sellers out there that don't learn.
Absolutely.
So you can't say that it's all bad for one person, and not for the other. How many times have you had sellers say, I quit, I gave up because I can't make money, yet you go buy whatever they have and you can make money like this because you know what you're doing, and you're willing to learn and make the mistakes to adjust from.
Yep. Yeah. Blackberry Thistle Tea says, like when people say, who would buy that and you sell it for big money? Exactly right. Exactly. I was reading, sorry.
HB Picker said, when I had cable, I used to watch those games and study. That's how I learned to play. Like you watch YouTube videos. Exactly.
Yep.
As I say, I've got books from Danny Negreanu. I watch videos from him. So I'm learning most things, and that's what the wife even looked at me when she started jokingly calling me a professional poker player, because those times I come home with cash. She's like, well, if I leave with no money in my pocket or next amount, and I come back with more, and I didn't spend any, I'm making money. She sees it as me being a professional. I tell her, no, a professional is when somebody goes to a tournament and wins $10,000 or more. To me.
Right. It's just another income stream, right?
Yeah.
So what are we doing? Are we waiting for somebody to try and get in, or are we going to call it,
I don't
or
know.
what?
I've put the suggestion out there if anybody else wants to come in, like Mr. Sadie, since he's a poker player too, and Vaughn kind of just sat out there saying I didn't give her enough heads up. She's been on we've had it on her for how many minutes now that she could pop back in?
So
Otherwise, I'm not seeing anybody else, and I don't know if you want to do an after show or not. I kind of do, but kind of don't, because I don't know what.
Right. I'd probably pass tonight, but I'm sure other people would come in. Maybe
Not so perfectly. Me said she tried, but it's not working.
Oh, sorry, that stinks. Yeah.
Did you just read Jason's comment?
Yeah. Poker is most fun when you lose with quad aces twice in the same day. Broke a mouse on that one. Yeah, really. I think I would just sit out for a while because obviously you had some bad karma that day. Whatever you were doing was wrong.
So unless anybody else wants to pop in, we'll end the show. And I should have announced, Dwayne, you're not going to be here Sunday.
Correct. Yep, I'm moving into my new house on Sunday. We signed the papers yesterday, so you guys will have to do without me, which is not that big of a deal. I'm sure Chris will have somebody fill in if possible.
And for the topic, it may be another interesting, but it's going to be the basics, because the guest is not an expert, but little Kyle, yard sale hunter, is going to be on as a guest talking about collecting wrestling collectibles. Because him and his brothers collected. They actually have a channel to get his brother and a friend, I guess, have a channel together. So we're going to talk about that. And then I don't know what we're going to come up to talk next Wednesday. We're going to come up with something.
Sounds good, sir. Hey, thanks for everybody in the comments saying congratulations to me. So,
and if you like what we talk about, hit that like button. And if you don't, let us know why. What, besides the fact that it might be illegal, where you are. Why else did you not like what we were talking about? Why did you not see the correlations at the business?
Right. And we're here to, that's part of the deal on the drive-by is to get some kind of not necessarily controversial, but something that we can discuss and debate back and forth. So I thank you to Krillin for voicing his side. I don't think he quite understood what we were trying to get at, but it was still nice to have another side to bounce it off of. So, and thanks you for all the people that did come in, because I think we had some good info come through for sure.
So with all that being said, we will see you Sunday night for our show. Well, I will see you. I will try getting a fill in for Dwayne. I will miss you for a couple of days, Dwayne. It seems like I did the show for a while by myself, but now we're getting into the groove.
Right.
So, and we will.
I'm just reading Lonnie's going to make a rant video about promoting poker. Well, hopefully you'll get more views than we did, because that's what YouTube's all about, buddy. Views.
Well, with that being said, I'm going to end the show. If you want to pop into an after show, use the same link that's in the description before I remove it. If not, we'll see you Sunday.
See ya.